Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Kai, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how I made a complete AI video series from idea, conception to upload. So let's get into it. In September of this year, Envato dropped endless video renders as well as the ability to use Nano Banana on their platform for free for September. And then they extended it to October, and now they've extended it to January. Just by way of a quick disclaimer, Envato have not sponsored this video, but I do feel like these tools are useful. This might be something that you've been looking to do, you're interested in, so definitely check the link in the description. Also, what I'll do is I'll put bookmark parts in this video so you can skip through the video to the parts that are more relevant to you. So back in the room now, I suddenly found myself with the tools able to create a video series without the creator burnout. So I thought to myself, what if I built an AI series for Vlogtober and create all the assets I need in September using Envato's endless video generation? But the problem that I did have was that I had to create something that aligned with my interests. It had to be story driven, and it actually had to provide some sort of value. And that's when I started to brainstorm. And for me, it clicked when I thought of an idea telling the stories of Chinese proverbs and bringing those to life using AI.
Destroy the cooking pots.
Now, if you don't know already, I'm half Chinese. I've been learning Chinese for about 10 years now, lived in China for a year. And one of the things that I find fascinating are the stories around the proverbs, or they call them changyus. Those have always fascinated me, and they've been around for thousands of years, and they've shaped the culture, and they've shaped a lot of what we see now in modern China. So I thought for the whole of October, I'm going to release a video every single day from Monday to Friday on my social platforms talking about Chinese proverbs. And none of this is related in any shape, form, or matter at all to what I normally create on YouTube, which is photography, filmmaking, and camera gear review videos. Ultimately, it was to see if it was something that I could actually accomplish using AI, since I was not familiar with AI tools before this. That's the reason why that mini series came about. And now I want to show you exactly the steps I took step by step to create it. So let's jump into this. So straight away, I would recommend jumping into ChatGPT to help you create your series. This is something I've been doing for a while now, and it really helps to speed up the flow. So you come with the ideas, and Chat just helps you to smooth things out, to iron out all the details for you. So for me, I started off with a Vlogtober 2025 Changyu's Ideas project. So you can create a project inside of ChatGPT. Every time you add a new line here, will kind of open up a new part up for your project. And I started up with Changyus for creatives. Now this evolved over the month. Initially, what I wanted to do was to come with Changyu ideas and aim them specifically at creatives. And if we scroll past here all the way back to the beginning, you'll see that I had an idea for a Changyu series. I want to create 30 videos related to Chinese Changyus, and straight away, and relate them to creatives. Straight away, Chat went to work creating a whole list of Changyus. Now, a lot of these have actually made it into my video series, but towards I'd say the first week, after the first few videos, I realized this isn't going to be something that I can specifically cater towards creatives. I feel like I need to talk to as many people as possible to make it as relevant to as many people as possible. And that's what I went with. After bouncing a few ideas with Chat, I started to look for a format for my script. So as we scroll down, the format itself just gets sharper and sharper until I think after the third or fourth video, I had my format in place, which was an introduction to the lesson, and then jump straight into the Changyu, the visuals. So that would be the AI video. And then that would then jump into the modern applications. So actually what you see here, An Old Horse Knows the Way, I did the Chinese part first, and then I realized the intro was too long and it wasn't really hookable. So I changed it to just, this is Chinese proverbs for modern life lesson, whatever, jump straight into the story. And even I've done revisions of these later where I've completely just cut out the intro of me speaking and gone straight into the story. And those have performed relatively okay on YouTube and TikTok. So once you have a format for your script, what you then need to do is you need to start putting that script in a place where you can save it for further updates. So for me, that was Google Docs. So you can see here all 25 days of my scripts This is day 25, straight into it. Now that we've got the script, what I did is I went away, I filmed this. So I filmed a lot of these outside just to get the natural light with a microphone. So I had the A-roll, essentially the narration. So a lot of the projects that I built were inside Premiere Pro. You can see my Chungyu projects here for my Vlogtober challenge. So every day would have a day dedicated to it. And you can see that I have my narration. So this would just be me speaking to the camera with the audio. And then I would build a Premiere file here. I'll just open that up. So you can see an example of this here. So everything was filmed vertically because this was specifically for verticals or social media using vertical format. And you can see my A-roll here is just me speaking outside.
This is Chinese Proverbs for Modern Life, lesson 25.
And then we would jump into the AI visuals. So a question a lot of people have asked is, how do we get the character consistency? How do we get it so that these characters look the same? So if we come over to the Envato app, like I said before, Envato currently have endless generations of videos using their VidGen, which is using VO3. We just navigate around the menu that they've got here. You can see that we can set the aspect ratio, so 16:9 or 9:16. We can set sound on and speech. If you're going to generate using speech, this is the thing, you will require credits. So you should get 30 credits every month for free. If you're not going to use speech, which is what I did for a lot of my content, no speech, I didn't have to worry about credits at all. I could just generate. So you might be asking, well, how then do I get that character consistency? Well, this is why we've created a project in our ChatGPT. So if I go to day 25, go all the way down to my day 25, I will load the script that I've created using chat back into chat. And then I will ask it to create a prompt for the man for character consistency. I actually asked ChatGPT to create the character. So for this one, it talks about a young man and it tells me what he's wearing: beige robe, clove sash, straw sandals. We can see it's relatively similar to what we actually end up with in terms of how he looks. Then what I say is, use this prompt from the man now on. This is what you need to use for every single prompt that I want. So I'll copy and paste this in. So the next thing I say is, I need a man on a boat. The man on the boat, the same man that you just gave me a description for. And it will give me this prompt. This is what I'm going to put into VO. So I'm going to copy that. I go over to Envato. So Envato here, go to Video Gen. Again, if I open this up, I'll set it to 9:16. I will put sound on, and then I will copy that prompt into there, into the prompt box. And what Envato allows me to do here is to preview the first frame. So I'm going to click on that, and hopefully it will give me a consistent character. Now this works, I say, about 75 to 80% of the time. There you go. That is the character that was actually used here. And you can see we've got this guy. It doesn't look exactly the same, but we do have a character consistency across most of our AI videos that are generated. So once I have that, I can set it as the first frame, or I might just generate again. Just ask, so just click this arrow button and it will start to generate a second image or starting image. Again, pretty similar. Let's just set this as our first frame. And then what it does here, if you look down at the bottom, is it set it as our first frame. And the only thing I would probably add to this prompt now is don't add music, because sometimes it puts on a little tune in the background, which I don't necessarily want. I might want the sound effects, so the rocking of the boat in the water, but I don't want to hear a random tune because I'm going to have my own music. So let's go to generate, and then Envato is going to do its thing. So the generation has happened, and I'll just play it out now. It's far from perfect, but we have something where we could use this to a degree. So we could use maybe the first few seconds of this. So hopefully that gives you an idea on how you can start prompting your character. And if I go back into the prompts for this, you will see I need a prompt for this. The sword slips from his belt and falls into the water. And again, it gives me the young man to keep the character consistency, and then it shows it gives a prompt for a sword falling off of his belt and falling into the water, but it also talks about having a Chinese aesthetic and a cinematic composition, because we want to keep things consistent. We want to keep that style of the video, the colors, the clothing as consistent as possible. And you'll see that I'm literally just writing 1 or 2 words to refine those prompts, and chat is throwing those out. We need a prompt for him looking around for his sword. We copy this, we're going to throw this into Envato again, make sure it's 9:16, paste that in, make sure we have sound, and then preview the first frame. So the idea is that he's looking confused and then he walks away. So we could use this. It doesn't look exactly like the guy, but I think if you're showing a few seconds here and there, you get that character consistency. Now you might be asking, how do I generate audio? How do you get those talking clips? So if you look at my series, there's multiple times where you will see somebody talking to the camera. And all you really need to do for that is set the sound and also the dialogue. So if we come out of here, you need to go to speech, you need to tick that on. So it's going to cost us credits, but let's find a prompt that we can use. Now, one thing that I didn't mention that I should have been mentioning is every time I got a prompt for a character, I would copy and paste it into my Google Doc. So I have it there the whole time. So what we want to find is a talking shot now to just demonstrate how to do those talking bits. Bamboo in the Heart, do I have a character prompt? And it's about a famous painter called Wen Tong. And he said, in my chest, the bamboo is already complete. So for this talking point, I will take the prompt of Wen Tong. So this has already been created by chat. I will go into Envato, I'll go to video generation. Again, changing this to vertical. I'm going to turn the speech on. And all I'll do is I will paste that prompt in. So I'm going to preview the first frame. I want to get this guy, Wen Tong, see what he looks like before I get him to speak. Here he is. Let's just take this as an example. So we'll set that as our first frame. Now we want the speech. So I'm going to come back to my script. And he says, in my chest, the bamboo is already complete. So I'll come over here to Envato. We've got that set as the first frame. So we're going to keep this seated calmly in his studio. His expression is thoughtful, masterful. Yeah. Okay, so from here, maybe we still want VO3 to know how he's going to sound. He has to know that this is an ancient Chinese painter from the Song Dynasty. So he says, okay, so now we're going to try generate this and we'll see what it does. Okay, so here is the version that was created just now.
In my chest.
Oh, you can hear this is added music. So remember, if you don't want that music in the background, add no music to your prompt.
In my chest, the bamboo is already complete.
Excellent. So this is how we can mix together the speech with credits, obviously to generate speech. But if you have narrated your videos, so for example, a lot of my videos have a narration of me talking at the beginning, then you could just use this for B-roll of your AI series. Now, the next thing I want to show you guys is something like this. So you'll see in every single one of my videos, I've actually put myself into the video alongside some of the characters. So here I am looking over the shoulder of Wen Tong. And you might be asking yourself, how do you put yourself into AI videos? I'm going to show you how to do this using Envato. So if we jump back to Envato, we want to go to edit image and we want to go to Nano Banana. So what I did for a lot of these videos is I took a screenshot just in Premiere. There's a little screenshot photo button here. And I would go to like one of the end frames where I have a neutral face expression. And then I would snap and export that frame to a folder, I think that I called thumbnail, something like that, and then just select folder and go okay. What you can do is just take a picture of yourself if you've done it like this and you've put yourself in, or get any picture of yourself and add this into Nano Banana. I'm going to show you how to do this now. Come over to Envato, go to Gen AI and go to Image Gen, go to Image Edit, go to Image Edit and select Nano Banana. And here I can choose the images that I want to use. So I'll come over to my Chengyu project, go to day 11 and thumbnail. And you can see I've got some pictures here you can put yourself side by side with these characters. First, take a screenshot of the character of your story, and then I put myself in, and then I could describe how I want this image to look here in this section here. So put these two characters side by side, and then give a height as well. They are 6'1" and match the lighting, and then go to generate changes and see what we come up with. You might have to generate multiple takes of this in order to get it working. We'll see what Nano creates now, but there might be a few crazy pictures like this. This doesn't work, right? Because I've only got my head, shoulders, and torso. Let's see if Nano can just create me as an ancient Chinese soldier. There we go. Top knot there with the little peg through it with the spear. So now I'll download this into here. Also going to add the reference of the general, and then put these battlefield in ancient China, and let's see if that comes up with something. So what I did with these Nano Banana pics is I used them for the thumbnails for every single one of my videos. Spend a bit of time. Here we go. This is it's getting there. We're looking like we're getting there. So we're going to go with this. So let's download this. I'm going to bring it over to our AI video generator. Make sure I've got all of these selected. I don't need the speech. I'll go to the start frame, upload an image, and then I will upload the image of me and the general. So, and then give it a slight prompt. So animate, these two soldiers are on the battlefield in ancient China. Subtle movement, no music. Still want some sound effects. I'll turn the sound on. And we're going to go to generate. Let's see what it comes back with. Okay, and so this is the result. Yeah, it's not great, but because you've got as many generations as you like, you can keep prompting and keep trying different things out until you get the video that you require. That's how you can put yourself into your own AI videos, by just using Nano Banana and VO3, which comes bundled with Envato. In terms of time, prompting would vary. So if you try to prompt during 9 to 5 work hours, you will find that you're waiting sometimes 25 to 45 minutes for a single video to come out. So one of the things I would recommend is, if you're going to make the B-roll, do it at a time when no one is necessarily using it, so outside of work hours, to create your content. So all in all, I'd say each video probably took me the best part of 2 hours to produce. And a lot of the legwork, a lot of the B-roll was done in the evenings, kind of en masse. So once I had the script, I would just prompt, sit there, let it, work while I was doing something else. So creating an AI video series while you're doing other things, just letting it run in the background, is actually super feasible. While it is a little bit labor intensive, a lot of the heavy lifting is taken care of by ChatGPT as well as VO3. The only real thing you need to do is put it all together in Premiere and CapCut, as well as to film yourself if you want to go down that route. Some people might want to make fully AI immersive video. Again, that would be up to you. Way! So hopefully this video has given you some ideas for how you can create your own AI series. The response that I got to this series actually was pretty positive. A lot of the comments that I got back proved to me that people found this valuable. They found it educational, they found it entertaining. Some people commented that this was how AI should be used, and this is how we should focus on using it for storytelling. As a creator myself, I understand the fears and I understand the worries around how AI is used. And I think if we just ignore it and hope it's going to go away, then we're just burying our sands. Burying our sands? We're just burying our heads in the sand. I feel as a creative that these are tools that we can use to tell our stories. So there is a lot of fear, but I also believe there's a lot of fear mongering. And I feel like once you better understand the tools, understand how they work, how to use them, how to create a workflow, and how to create something that's valuable, or you think is going to be valuable to your audience, then I do feel like that is the right way. That's the right direction to go, in my opinion. Not everyone's going to agree with me on that. Whether you agree with me or not, AI is here and it's not going away. So for me as a creative, I want to continue to learn the tools to see where they can fill the gaps in my creation. I'm going to be pushing back into filmmaking, using the camera more and filling the gaps with AI. But you may see more and more AI from this channel. So just a little FYI for those of you out there. But I do also have more filmmaking reviews coming out on the Canon C80, the Sony FX6 that I've been using for the last 6 months, and a whole bunch of Canon stuff that I'm hoping to do soon. So with that said, just broke my microphone. With that said, thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to follow us on all the other socials that are floating around. So with that said, stay creative, imagine, implement, and inspire, and I'll catch you in the next one.